Good morning, you guys. My name is Sierra. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I am currently a first-year nursing student and I'm in my third term of nursing school, and this is my last clinical day of the term. It's my last clinical day of my first year of nursing school too. It's crazy. I got to sleep in a little bit. My clinical day is only from 9 to 2. I'm not exactly sure what we're doing. We're not going to the hospital today. These next couple days are going to be absolutely insane because I'm in pathophysiology, pharmacology, and chronic illness, and we have finals coming up, HESI's coming up, a lot of assignments that are due, and it's just going to be a crazy week. I'm going to bring you guys along for the next couple days of my life, and I'm excited to share it with you guys. And you know what? It's getting kind of late. Okay, I need to head out. So I gotta go to school now, but I'm gonna bring you guys with me. I just got home from my last clinical ever as a first-year nursing student, which is absolutely insane. Oh my god, it honestly just went by so stinking fast, and I'm so happy that it's over because I have to study for school right now. I have to study for all my finals. I have one in like a day and a half, and then I have 4 the following week. So just to know that clinical is done and out of the way is relieving to me, and yeah, I'm happy about that. I was gonna tell you guys what we did in clinical today, which we actually really didn't do much. It was just like a whole study session period. So there was a bunch of like practice questions and like pamphlets and study guides for our upcoming final, specifically acute illness, but for all of them, honestly. And then we had lunch, and yeah, we had our evaluations with our clinical instructors, and they just kind of like go over your progress throughout the term and your strengths and your weaknesses, and just ask you some questions. And then there was cake, but I didn't eat any because I'm being a good girl. That sounds weird. I'm trying to be healthy and be better because I can't fit into my swimsuits, but that's another story for another time. Anyways, so I just got home. I'm gonna get changed, probably take a shower, and then eat some food and start working on some studying and some assignments. And I also have, oh my gosh, a really awesome resource that was at my school, but you can find it yourself online. It's on nurse labs, something like that. I'm gonna show you guys it because I'm gonna print it off, and then I will attach the link down below in this video. So let's take a shower. Okay, so I just showered. You know, my hair is still dry. I didn't wash my hair because, well, I wasn't in the hospital today, and I try not to wash my hair too often because I know it's not super good for you. And then I just changed into comfy clothes, pajamas. I feel like a majority of the time that I film, I'm in pajamas, and it's just the way that life's been working lately. I don't really have anything else to say except when I'm studying and when I'm stressed, the one thing I can control is if I'm cozy, and I would like to be cozy, so that's why we're in pajamas. I'm just putting some moisturizer in my hair, and then I'm gonna go grab some food. I put some taquitos in the oven. I know I just said I'm trying to be healthy, but I'm a hypocrite. What can I say? I'm having the serving size for the taquitos though, so I feel like that makes a difference. It's funny, it's literally so hot outside, but I am freezing in this house. Okay, so you can see that I have my food here, my water, my computer, and I'm just going to work on a couple of things and then probably head outside when it cools down just a little bit and work on things outside. And then when I'm outside, I'm gonna show you guys a couple assignments, some ways that I'm studying for my finals, and that document I was talking about from earlier. So I'm gonna eat and I'll see you guys in a minute. Okay, so site change of plans. I really wanted to show you guys this document, but unfortunately my printer is out of ink of some sort. So my boyfriend has ink at his house, so when I go over there in like an hour or two, I am going to just print it off at his house and then I'll show you guys, right? This is so cute. Okay, you're sitting on my computer now. All right, so time to get to work. Hey guys, so yeah, it's the next day. I'm sorry I left you hanging. I went over to my boyfriend's house and the heck? Well, that's the dog. And we just had dinner together, had a really relaxing night and went to bed super early. So I didn't get as much done as I should have, to be honest, but that's what I'm doing today. So right now I'm nannying, but Oliver is kind of down for like a little nap, kind of. He's watching a show, so I have a little bit of time. The first thing is that I wanted to show you guys what I was talking about yesterday. This was posted on like a bulletin board at my school, and I printed it off, and I feel like this is like super great. It's really important condensed information in like 6 pages of paper, which is exactly how I feel. I mean, this is a book, but this has like everything you need in it. It's the Saunders NCLEX comprehensive book. This is a great book, but this is what I was talking about earlier. It's on Nurse Labs. I'm gonna have it attached below. I probably said that. And it's called the NCLEX RN cram sheet. So just kind of a lot of little writings like that, but it has, you know, your electrolyte lab values, your acid base values, your urine test normal values, your cardiac markers, just things that maybe don't make sense to you if you're like in pre-nursing right now, but it will very soon. It has your medication classifications, like the really vital ones to know, and then the medications, and like the first one on there is digoxin, which I feel like my pharmacology teacher like instilled that one in us, and yeah, I still don't really know a lot about it. And then, oh, it had a specific section I really liked, and it was, what's that? Oh, common signs and symptoms, and it goes through all of these disorders. So it has like asthma. You would notice wheezing on expiration, Cushing syndrome, moon-faced appearance, and buffalo hump. You guys should just look at it, check it out, and tell me what you think of it, print it off. I think it's a great resource. You can never have too many resources when you're studying for nursing school. So like I said, right now I'm nannying, but I have some time, so I'm basically done with all of my assignments. What I have left is like, it's not a big deal. It's not gonna be super time consuming. So from here on out, I'm focusing on completely studying. I have an exam tomorrow, and it's actually not part of my grade, but it's a HESI. It's like an accumulative exam for first year of nursing school, and depending on what we score on that kind of is the precursor for our amount of remediation hours for a second year of nursing school. So obviously you want to score well on it. I'm a little bit nervous, but that's tomorrow afternoon. And so I'm trying to focus and like study on that for questions, but then the following week I have 4 more exams, so a lot of studying. Right now I've been doing some dishes and I've been watching, I mentioned it in my other videos, but there is an instructor on YouTube who lectures to the same pathophysiology book that we are required. 34, we'll talk about we are required to have in my course. He has all the chapters filmed and recorded on YouTube, so it's pretty amazing. So I'm gonna show you that. This is what I'm watching. This one is chapter 34, so sexually transmitted infections, and I can have this linked down below too, so I probably will do that. And I'm just going through all of the chapters for this term, re-listening to his lecture. I've been practicing a bunch of questions on different websites. So my brother told me about this website called Your Best Grade. And it just reminded me that I don't know if your school may not have a HESI. I think some schools have something called the ATIs, I'm not exactly sure, but I think they're pretty comparable if I'm right. So there's something called Your Best Grade that I have access to because of my brother, thank you. It's just HESI questions, and so you could set it up as like study mode or quiz mode, and you get like a tentative score to see how you're doing, and it shows you what's right or wrong. And the biggest thing is that it gives you the rationales behind the questions, so you know why something is this answer or why it's not, which is like the most conductive thing with learning. Like if you don't know why something is or isn't the answer, then it's literally useless. That's why it makes me so mad when we take tests and we don't necessarily go over them in like any school. I'm not specifically talking about nursing school, but I think you should always go over them because it just makes sense. Okay, anyways, rant over. I'm going to continue studying for a little bit while I have some peace and quiet. The biggest thing I've been doing is really just practicing questions over and over and over again. And I feel like that is like the biggest thing in school. You can read until you're blue in the face. I don't suggest that, but like obviously reading is very good. But I think a really great way to study and learn is practicing questions. Okay. I'm going to study a little bit more and get some water. Hi guys, so I should not be vlogging and driving, so I'm gonna keep this very minimal and very short. But hi, it's the next day clearly. Which way am I going? Today I have an exam and it's actually not a part of any of my classes because this term of school I'm taking pathophysiology 2, pharmacology 2, and acute illness 1. But this exam is an accumulative exam. It's just for us and the nursing staff to see where we are at right now. So it's accumulative over our first entire year of nursing school, encompassing all of those classes and chronic illness as well. We get a score back, it's called a HESI, and depending on how your score is, depends on your remediation hours that you have to do over the summer. Realistically, we should all be studying over the summer just to kind of stay in the groove of things, but we'll see what happens. After practicing so many questions the past couple of days, I had to just stop this morning because after a certain point I feel like it's just unproductive because my brain just turns to mush, and then I stop really analyzing and dissecting the questions, and then I start getting them wrong, and I'm like, oh, I got that wrong because I just didn't read it thoroughly. So, you know, make sure to not like overwork yourself or overstudy right before a test or exam because it usually, well, in my case, it doesn't work in my favor. So, yeah, I'm heading to school right now, and then it's 85 questions, I believe. We have a time slot of 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes to get it completed. Yeah, I will chat with you guys after, let you know how it goes. I think we get our score immediately after too. A couple of my like fellow classmates in my clinical group have already taken theirs and they all got really good scores. So if you're familiar with the HESI, I believe an 850 and above is passing. but since this is our first one and we're only in our first year, they're not expecting us to get an 850, although I'm sure they would like us to get an 850, so we'll see what happens. And I'm really nervous, but really excited to get this out of the way, because even though this is very important, I have actual exams next week that are part of my grade and determine if I pass or not. So I would say those are very important as well, and I would like to start really being able to focus on those. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so I wanted to talk to you when I got home instead of in the car because it's so loud and noisy. And to be honest with you, I've seen so many car accidents lately. I don't know why. It's summer. I would think that there wouldn't be as many because the weather's not so bad, but I've seen a lot on the freeway and close to where I live, and it makes me just want to be extra cautious and careful. So probably going to limit my recording and vlogging time in my car just to be careful. So just really be careful when you're driving out there. So I finished the test and there were 85 questions, and honestly it was super draining and exhausting because just thinking next year when we do the HESI there's going to be 160. I was just thinking about that the whole time, like, oh my gosh, just like seeing how many you have left and like seeing the clock and then hearing your instructor announce, okay, half of the time has passed, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not even through half the questions yet. But it wasn't too bad. It kind of seemed like the questions that I wasn't sure about, I was then getting more questions with a similar premise. Like I feel like I did pretty well with like pediatrics and labor and delivery and stuff like that, and my questions were really limited. I had a lot more with critical care, which I don't think is my strong suit. And then there was a couple dosage calc questions with IV drip rates, and yeah, that's not something we've even gone over in school. That's kind of been self-taught to all of us students, so they weren't too bad though. I did all right on it. It shows you at the end the rationales behind the questions that you missed, but it doesn't actually give you the question. It just like says the question number and then it explains like the correct answer. So I feel like it'd be more beneficial if it showed you the question. That's kind of super silly to me. And then it breaks down your score at the very end and goes into immense detail of like your strong area, the area that you need improvement on. So like for example, I had 30 critical care questions and I missed quite a few of them, and then I had like really limited pediatric questions and I got most of those right. So it's really nice that it like breaks it down and then shows you what areas you need to work on. I feel like it was actually pretty accurate too. Yeah, so that is officially over, and now it is time to study for my finals next week. But first thing I need to do is sorry, this is probably wondering what that is. I am too. I think my sister and her husband have that there so the dog doesn't get out when he's out on the porch. But anyways, I need to finish my pharmacology flashcards because I have that project due tomorrow, and I have a couple more I still need to do. And then I will begin studying. But truly, it's like almost 6 o'clock. I've been studying all day for that test. I drove around 3 hours today. I was taking the test for 2 hours. I'm pretty exhausted, and I don't think that I'm really going to retain anything I study right now. So I'm just going to finish my pharmacology project, which is pretty mindless, and I'll show you guys that. So I'm gonna get my pharmacology stuff out of, I think it's in my car. So here is my setup. So first of all, what I'm doing is I'm making a little book. It's called My Personal Drug Resource Guide. I started on these a while ago, and then I kind of just put them to the side and never finished them. So I need to do a couple more. It's really windy, so I'm putting them on there. These are my, oh, I guess I should show you guys the other side. So I have mechanism of action, nursing considerations, patient teaching, common side effects, and those are the drug classifications. So that's just some markers and other little things. Some more flashcards, colored pencils. This is my drug guide that I use to get all the information from the drugs. This thing is super awesome. And then this is the list of medications for my pharmacology class, and basically I have to choose 2 medications from each drug classification and do that. So I'm going to get started now.